Welcome back to another Sunday walk video. It's looking exciting once again. It's kind of cold and wet today, but as I'm filming this, Bitcoin is at 103.3, maybe pushing to 104, maybe pushing to a new high by the time you guys watch this. So today could be quite exciting, which means this week could be quite exciting. So let's see what happens. But this video is gonna be good, guys. This video is gonna be good. This video is all about some projects that may be pumping, right? Obviously, we saw a lot of new projects pump last week. There's been a new narrative for projects that have pumped and a new narrative for projects that will pump. So I did my homework and I found some projects, and these are legit projects, ones that have been around for a while, but because of this new narrative, I think they have a good chance to pump and could be a good opportunity to load up on them. So I'm going to talk about what this new narrative is and explain a little more and some of these projects, and also talk about this other project, one that's very familiar to a lot of you guys, one that I am going to be loading a lot more of because I think it's going to do very well in 2025. It may become a top 10 project. To be quite honest, it's not far off. Not only does it have a chance to be a top 10 project, it could be a top 5 project in 2025, which means it has a 10x potential. No, it could have a 10 to 15x potential. So, and that's not bad for such a large cap project already. So I'm going to talk about that as well. And of course, talk about Bitcoin in this video. All right, let's get started. Well, first of all, like I said, as I'm recording this right now, I'm recording a little bit earlier. You guys may have noticed the usual Sunday recap video. First of all, I'm just gonna talk about this real quick. The Sunday recap video, I moved to Saturday because I think that's gonna be the new thing. As it's getting colder now, I don't know if I'm gonna continue to do these CryptosRUs videos. Quite frankly, I don't think they're that well received. A lot of you guys, I don't know, for whatever reason, just don't care about the car review videos, even though I'm talking crypto in them. So I may continue to do them, I may not. If I get new cars, I'll do them. If I don't, I'm not gonna do them. But I think I'm gonna move the weekly recap video regardless to Saturday. That way it gives me more time. I don't have to rush to get up on Saturday and do a CryptosRUs. If I do a CryptosRUs, then I'll be able to do it and put it out on Saturday night. So then that way on Sunday, I'll be able to do Sunday walks a little bit earlier and put out these videos a bit earlier, just to let you guys know in case you noticed that this week. All right, but as for Bitcoin, I think this week will really be dictated by what happens later today, because last week obviously Bitcoin didn't do a whole lot, but for most of the week we held above $100,000, just hovering around 101, 102. But today I noticed it slowly crept up to 103, and we somehow just got used to this level, like, oh, we're above 100 now. It's like, now what, right? Like, we just all got used to it. But now, as I'm filming this, we're like at 103.3, 103.4. We're only 600 points away from all-time high of 104. So something's going on. Sailor, he kind of hinted that he bought more Bitcoin. He's like, oh, we need another green dot on the Sailor tracker. So I'm pretty sure he's going to announce either today or tomorrow that he bought billions more Bitcoin. Something's going on. Bitcoin just started going up. So we may be breaking an all-time high soon. By the time you watch this again, or tonight, we may be shattering at 104 and maybe heading to 105, 110. It's about that time too. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. So I have a feeling we're gonna make that next leg up soon. It could be this week. That next leg up, you guys know, just like the leg up from 90s to 104, we could see that from where we are, 103 to 110 or 112. I think the next estimated leg is like going to bring us to 112. That could be coming this week. It's gonna be quite exciting. So I think that's just right around the corner. And we know the supply shock, everything I've been telling you guys. It's funny in the comments, starting to get negative again. Even though we're at 100,000 plus, all the things I've been saying in my live streams about the supply shock, about the ETFs, about everything that's happening. I seen the comments again. People are like turning negative, saying, oh yeah, one day you'll be correct. Oh, one day, yeah, we'll go up. I'm like, are you guys serious? Have you guys been living under a rock? Have you guys not noticed that Bitcoin is above $100,000? It's funny how there will be trolls and people that have missed a boat, and they will continue to try to spread their misery. Like, they've been saying the same thing since Bitcoin's been at 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 60,000, 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. They will continue to spread their misery because they just never believed and never bought in. But most of you guys, you know, we're definitely going a lot higher. And we're just slowly creeping up and up and up and up. The next leg up is going to bring us to the 110s. And right before Christmas, you know, before the end of the year, actually, I mean, even after Christmas, I think, before the new year, man, we could go from the 110s to 120s, maybe even to like 125, 130. I think it's going to get super exciting. But something's going on today. Let's see what happens, and then let's see what happens this week. All right. So outside of Bitcoin, let's talk about this new narrative. So this new narrative, it shouldn't be, but it's what's happening. And this started last week, and that is this Trump narrative, okay? And no, I'm not talking about like what's going on in 2025, the new landscape and all that stuff. That we already know, right? No, it's this Trump coin narrative, the World Liberty Financial. There's a little controversy behind this, so I actually dug in a little more. I don't know how many of you guys actually looked into this project. Trump and his whole family has really endorsed this project, but if you look into it, it's really not his. It started by these two guys that they're serial entrepreneurs. They have started a lot of things that have failed. Their last project was called Doe Finance, which was hacked for like $2+ million and went under, and they weren't able to reimburse everyone. So they've started a lot of things and they have all failed. And somehow they got a hold of Trump and his family, and they got him to endorse this. So they released this. It's supposed to be a DeFi project, and 75% of the revenue from this project goes to Trump and his family, and 25% goes to the two co-founders. Okay. Now, some of the tokens also have gone to Trump, a small amount of the overall, and some of the tokens also has gone to these two founders, and the rest, I don't know what they did. Maybe went to the LP, maybe it got burned. The details are kind of iffy. So because Trump came out and spoke very highly of this, people think that it's his project. But if you go to the website and look at it, it says in the print that Trump and his 3 sons and his organization, everything, they're not like board members, they're not founders, they have really no ties to this project, but they are collecting 75% of revenue. So they're indirectly related, okay? But nevertheless, people see it as Trump's coin, Trump's project, right? So just to give you a little background story. So the founders, you can't like, you know, I was trying to find their X. I don't see them, but they have somewhat of a controversial history past. Doesn't mean they're scammers or anything, but they have started many projects, have all failed, not very successful, but somehow they were able to get the endorsement of Trump and so forth. Anyways, so what has happened is Arkham and others have started paying attention to Royal Liberty Financial's wallet, because what happened last week was Arkham found out that they started buying with their funds. So last week it was found that, hey, World Liberty Financial started buying Chainlink, and then they started buying Aave. Okay, so because of these buys, then people started, you know, kind of like made this association. Well, if they're buying, that means Trump must like these projects. And then guess what? Chainlink caught on fire. Chainlink started really pumped all the way to like $34, and now it came back down to about 30. And then guess what? Aave started pumping, and then it came back down, right? So this new narrative is, look at what World Liberty Financial is buying, right? And it's going to start pumping. So that's a new thing, right? It shouldn't be the case. We shouldn't be looking at this. We shouldn't be looking at like, oh, well, what is World Liberty Financial buying? We should buy it. But here's the thing. The good thing is that World Liberty Financial is supposed to be a DeFi project, and whatever they've been purchasing has been pretty legit projects, right? They're not buying meme coins. They're not buying like new projects that are launching that no one has heard of before. Chainlink, which I've spoken very highly of, they've been around for a long time, and they're an ISO supported project, and you know, their biggest oracle in the space. I've said many things about Chainlink over the years. They're a fantastic project, so really glad to see that they got some spotlight, and they did very well last week because of it. Aave, another one of the biggest DeFi projects in the space, and even though I'm not a big fan of Aave, but they're definitely one of the original OGs of DeFi from back in 2021, and for them to get a little spotlight, that's quite okay. Definitely a legit project, so it's good. And then guess what happened just a few days ago? World Liberty Financial bought another crypto, Ethnia. Ethena. Yeah, that's how you say Ethena or something. So they're like a ETH-based yield-bearing project. Okay, they're quite large too. I've heard of them. It's something that, me personally, you guys know, I'm not a big ETH guy, but you know, World Liberty Financial is a ETH-based project, and it seems like, and they have large holdings of ETH, so It seems like they're kind of like investing in all ETH-based DeFi projects. So Ethena, they kind of pump too, right? So it got me thinking, what are other ETH-based DeFi projects that are worth looking at, worth picking up? They might get temporary pumps because World Liberty Financial might be picking them up as an investment, but also just in general, right? What are some good ones that may be doing well in 2025? It just got me thinking. So I'm gonna list some of them out for you guys, because these are probably ones that some of you guys are holding already, or some that you guys may be wondering about. First and foremost, let's talk about a DEX. A lot of you guys are making purchases or trades on decentralized exchanges like DEXs, right? Outside the centralized exchanges. And the biggest one of them all, well, one of the biggest one, arguably, it goes back and forth, and one that you can actually buy, let's say, World Liberty Financial on, is Uniswap. Uniswap is ETH-based. They have expanded out to other chains, but primarily still ETH-based. So I gotta say, Uniswap is definitely one. And I could definitely see World Liberty Financial purchasing Uniswap in the future. It just makes sense. They're just so big. And plus, they've been served a Wells notice by SEC, but I could definitely see that being dropped. And it could have been dropped already because Gary's on his way out. So Uniswap is a no-brainer. They're one of the biggest, if not the biggest. Periodically, Jupiter jumps their volume, but I would argue they're still the biggest. So Uniswap, no-brainer. They're one. Another one I would say that's no-brainer would be Lido. And they've actually been doing very well recently. Lido is definitely the biggest liquid staking crypto project. They're multi-chain already, huge on ETH, huge on Solana. You guys know I'm a big Solana fan. Lido, I could definitely see World Liberty Financial picking up. But besides them, Lido, I think it's just a fantastic project all around. Liquid staking, in case you're not familiar, allows you to deposit your collateral. So you're staking, and then they'll give you a synthetic version of it, and then you could take that and then go stake it somewhere else. That's called liquid staking. So Lido, I think, is a no-brainer. And there's many others that are kind of like competitors to Lido. I found another one. It's a much smaller one. So like Lido is around 2 billion already. So they're quite big, but definitely room to grow. Another one that's just ETH-based, that's much smaller. I would say like something like EtherFi. Their symbol is just like EtherFi. I'm pretty sure Arthur Hayes is backing this project, but they're just ETH-based. Much smaller market cap. I would say they could be like a potential for a purchase, right? Just speculating. Don't know if it's actually going to happen, but they're like a smaller competitor to Lido. So I could, just throwing that out there because they're a much smaller market cap. So they could be a good pickup as well. So those two. Yeah, so these are some of the projects that I looked up. I think some of these are good pickups to hold anyways, outside of this Trump narrative. But, if World Liberty Financial does decide to pick up any of these and they get a huge spike, a huge pump because of it, then even better, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what else they pick up. but there's definitely people tracking its wallet. I mean, Arkham and so many other Twitter accounts now that are tracking it. I'm going to start tracking it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know, I wonder if ETH is going to get more popular now. I know I covered that BlackRock and Fidelity started purchasing more ETH in their funds. I wonder if it's because of this. You know, ETH itself, the performance hasn't really picked up all that much. It's still below 4,000. I guess we'll see if it's going to pick up, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, last thing, I know this video is getting long, but the last thing I want to talk about is just one project I said I'm going to pick up a lot more of for 2025 is Sui. I've talked a lot about Sui this year. A lot of you guys have asked me a lot about Sui. There's two things that's going on with Sui. There's something new that I already knew about. I don't know why I didn't make this connection earlier, but I think it's definitely going to help. Earlier this year, or I mean, not earlier this year, like a month ago, you know, we were making the connections, right? In terms of the four major crypto that were pumping because of the excitement about Trump. Of course, we had Ripple, we had Cardano, Hedera, and Algorand, right? They were all flying to the moon. They all held most of their gains. They came down a little bit, but they held most of their gains. And the reason being, they're all American-based. They're all on Coinbase, and they're all supporting ISO 20022 standard, right? And plus, they're all supposedly working with the Trump administration and the new Doge department and so forth, right? Things have kind of cooled down a little bit, but overall, we know 2025 is going to be a fantastic year for American-based companies that are in crypto. So that's a big thing, right? And if you fit at least two of the three criteria, I think you're going to be doing pretty well. Guess what? Sui is American. You know, a lot of people wouldn't think of it because of the name Sui. You would figure it's like Asian, right? And yes, some of the co-founders are Asian, but Miston Labs, the parent company of Sui, is based in Palo Alto in California. So Sui is an American company. It's a US-based company, and I think a lot of people have missed that. So that's a big thing. And guess what? Sui is listed on Coinbase. So that's two already out of the three. Now, did it openly say that it supports ISO 20022 standard? No, it didn't come out with it. Kind of like Avalanche, right? Avalanche also fits those two. American-based on Coinbase, didn't officially say it supports ISO 20022, right? But it fits the two out of the three. So Sui fits those two. But unlike Avalanche, Sui has something that Avalanche doesn't right now. And that is, memes are taking off. So what I've noticed is, Sui, like Avalanche, has a lot of games. They really come to support the gaming community. But for whatever reason, Sui also have come to support the meme community, but the memes are actually taking off. There's one recently I saw, forgot the name, but it blew up to 200 million market cap like almost instantly. So the memes are starting to get hot. And we know that memes drive volume and memes drive people, right? So Sui overall is getting a lot of attention because the price movement is really good. And memes is driving volume and people into it. And plus, I think it fits the other criteria, right? So I think SUI could do really well in 2025. And here's the other thing too. If you're looking at the market cap, it's like 13 billion right now, which makes it a big cap already. But if you're comparing it, let's say, to Solana, which is 110 billion, you compare it to XRP, which is 130 billion. SUI has to do a 10x just to catch up to those guys. And BNB is up there too. BNB is like 80 or 90 billion. So SUI has to do a 10x just to reach the top 5, right? So that shows you that the potential is very vast. That's assuming, right, that the others don't move. So during the bull run, obviously we know that Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and everything else, BNB, the top 5, they're all going to continue to move. They're going to go a lot higher. So if they're going to go a lot higher, SUI has to do a 10x just to get to the top 5, and then they have the potential to go even more. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, I think SUI has the potential to do maybe a 10x, 15x. And even if it did a 15x, it wouldn't be unreasonable, right? As long as they continue to do well, continue to execute, continue to onboard their games, they're getting into other things like RWA as well, right? Their TVL continues to explode. They continue to support their ecosystem and continue to grow based on the fact that they're in the US. They can do very well in 2025. Oh, look at this family. Look at this. Look at the family of deer right there. They're probably starving. I don't have any food for them. But yeah. And I know a lot of you guys love SUI already. It's not a surprise. But I think, you know, the couple factors I mentioned, one, they're based in the US, and two, their meme community is really starting to grow. I think that kind of sets them apart a little bit from some of their competitors. We'll see. We'll see. But anyways, I already had a little bit, or I should say I have a little bit of SUI, but I think I'm going to load up a lot more. I think in 2025, they're going to do very well. Again, guys, like I like to reiterate, just like when I bought in at XRP at $1.70, and people were like, oh, look at you, hypocrite, you bought in so late. It's never too late, guys. Well, what's XRP now? 240, 250? You know, I'm still up, like, what, 50% on XRP? It's never too late, guys. It's never too late when it comes to investing. It's just like people that are getting into Bitcoin now at 100K. It's not too late. Don't try to shame people thinking that it's too late, right? If you don't have any SUI now, if you don't have any Bitcoin, you don't have any XRP, you don't have any Solana, it's never too late. The only way you think it's too late is if you think right now is the top, right? And I definitely don't think that. 2025, we are going to go a lot higher. The end of 2025, Bitcoin is going to be 200, 300, 400,000. Solana is going to be well above 1,000. XRP could be at $8, $9, $10. SUI could be at, I don't know, $2,000, $3,000. I don't know. It's never too late. All I know is I'm going to load up more, and I'm going to continue to DCA and everything else. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens tonight. If Bitcoin's going to break into a new high, if it does, this week it's going to be absolutely spectacular. I think this week is going to be crazy. And we only got a couple weeks until the Santa rally, and then the end of this year. All right, that's it, guys. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.